I'm delighted to do the treasurer's report for you. We've gone from visioning to advancing PM&R Bold, and that took some investment and some forethought. So at first, I'm going to present to you last year's budget in 2016. Knowing that we wanted to invest in Bold, we had budgeted for a negative bottom line, but it turns out that with the participation of everybody and multiple endeavors and the wizardry, of course, of our staff, we ended up with a robust bottom line. We ended up with a net positive instead of a red negative of over $1,300,000. So that's fantastic. This year, we again budgeted for a negative bottom line, knowing how important it was for us to move from the visioning to advancement. We did have one curveball thrown at us, maybe two, but there were some issues related to the journal and loss of money that we had anticipated. So as you see the budgeted negative bottom line, that's because we're deeply committed to investing in moving forward with advancing Bold. And I'm hopeful that as you've participated throughout the assembly, you've been mindful of the resources it takes to kind of take a specialty out of the ruts that we're in and move us on to another track, getting us going toward, hopefully a more beautiful and wonderful place. Finally, or not finally, next to finally, we've looked at our budget for next year, and we continue to believe heavily that it's important at this time to invest in our specialty. That investment includes looking at registries, understanding how we're going to support all of our practitioners throughout the continuum of healthcare, and regardless of how and where they practice, whether they're solo practitioners or they're people that are in academic centers or people that are parts of groups, we're looking at how we're going to reinvent our colleagues to be an essential part, a vital part of healthcare throughout the continuum. So you'll see that what the board has done has approved, again, a deficit budget with the understanding that this is the time for us to invest in our specialty. Just so you feel good about that, when we look at our months in reserve, we've got a very healthy month in reserve, and this is in spite of us last year having budgeted for a negative budget. We still have well more than the specialty requirement in our bylaws of 6 months in reserve. We're teetering towards 12 months in reserve. And just in case you're wondering why blue and red, we don't really count the investment income as something we bank on, so blue is what we love. I'm willing to take any questions. Otherwise, I would have Stu come up.